Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're going to be taking a look at the IWC Big Pilot's Watch annual calendar. Now, before I start this review, I want to remind you that this watch is available on sale brand new here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota for $32,400. I'd also like to remind you that we'll be leaving links in the description to this watch on the JB Hudson website, as well as our channel store. We've listed our favorite watches and watch accessories for sale. I highly encourage you to make purchases on this, as it does support the channel. So now let's move on to the case of this watch. As I said, this is the Big Pilot's Watch annual calendar, and it's the Antoine de Saint Exupery Foundation Special Edition. Now, I'm sure I butchered that French pronunciation, but this is very important, as the proceeds for this watch go to support the Antoine de Saint Exupery Foundation, which helps underprivileged youths. It helps them with their educational opportunities. So it is doing good when you purchase this watch. Now, I'll move into the case. So this watch has a red gold case, and it looks absolutely stunning under the light. I mean, this color is just bang on. It's absolutely perfect. And this watch has a beautiful chocolate dial. Now, that is exclusive to this special edition. And, I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's a pretty hefty watch. I mean, it's 46.2 millimeters in diameter, and it is very thick, as you can see. But it has a little bit of a dressy look to it as well. I mean, it is a Big Pilot's watch, so it is supposed to be sporty, and it definitely is, but again, it's gold, so it's pretty dressy. Now, I'll move into the complications. So this watch is an annual calendar, and that is a pretty high complication in that it's capable of tracking all the days in each of the months of the year. So as you can see in this day and date register up here, you have the month, you have the date, and then you have the day. And that's a very useful feature, again, because some months are shorter than others, and it's pretty easy to forget which ones are shorter, and I mean, this watch helps you with that. So it's an interesting complication, and it is highly applicable to modern life. And it is a very hard complication to actually to produce. It's not quite as hard to produce as the perpetual calendar, which ironically was produced before the annual calendar. The annual calendar was, frankly, in my opinion, made to kind of fill a gap in the marketplace. Not by IWC, it was actually invented by Patek Philippe, but that is kind of an interesting story all on its own. So now I'll move on to the movement of this watch, which is very, very nicely decorated. So this is the IWC caliber 52000, and as you can see, it is finished so beautifully. It doesn't quite glisten to the level it would in real life, just because there's this plastic covering over it. I don't want to remove that because this watch is brand new, but I mean, you see you have the beautiful Côte de Genève and a little bit of perlage as well, and that looks absolutely fantastic. What really is impressive about this movement, in addition to the annual calendar complication, is the power reserve, which is 7 days. And as you can see, at 3 o'clock, there's this power reserve subdial, which goes up to 7 days. So as I wind the watch, it takes a while, again, frankly, because the power reserve is 7 days. It takes a while to get up to that 7 day indicated, but I think that having that power reserve indicator is very useful. Now, this watch, you're really not ever going to run out of power unless it's sitting, obviously, for more than 7 days, but frankly, this is a decent daily wearer, and it's automatic, so again, the power reserve is not really a concern, but it's definitely useful to have that super long power reserve. I mean, there are watches that are much more expensive than this that have power reserves of like 2 days maybe, so I think that's very impressive that they chose to include that, and it's kind of a signature of the Big Pilot's watch collection, so I guess it's kind of expected in that regard, but still impressive. So now I'll try this watch on for a wrist shot, and it is, again, very large, frankly, but it's very comfortable on the wrist. You have this beautiful Santoni leather strap that it comes on, but again, it's huge. So this watch is 46.2 millimeters in diameter. It does look big on my wrist, and I have about a 6.5 inch wrist in circumference, which is average to slightly above average. So unless you have a, frankly, above average sized wrist, I probably would not recommend this watch as a daily wearer to you. But if you have a smaller wrist, you definitely can wear it. I mean, if you look at old pilot's watches from World War II, such as the Big Pilot, the size was much, much larger than a typical modern watch, which is actually funny because older watches tend to be smaller than modern watches, but pilot's watches definitely are the exception to that rule. So if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and share, and remember to check out our channel store as well as JB Hudson's website. Thank you.